Tradition. You can't buy it. It's earned the hard way over decades and eras. On the field, on the road, in the mud. With guts and with grit, and firm belief that today could be our day. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is back. Still alive, still kicking, the oldest prize in American soccer. 96 teams, part-timers to major leaguers. Survive and move on, lose and you go home. So we call all underdogs, dreamers and believers. And we ask you again, one simple question. Are you up for the cup?
Round one of the 2025 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup rolls on, and it rolls into Madison, Wisconsin. Breese Stevens Field. It's Forward Madison FC and Duluth FC. With Marion Crowder, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Forward Madison and Duluth FC actually competed against each other last year. It was Forward Madison that came away with the victory. Forward Madison, they're more experienced in this competition, but Duluth, they've been around a little bit as well.
They have, and they have some very talented players who have been in and around the USL Championship, some League One vets, and for them, it's going to be all about withstanding pressure and potentially having a late game winner.
Our players to watch tonight, Garrett McLaughlin getting the start tonight for Forward Madison. He's been a goal-scoring machine in his USL League One career.
Yeah, tied for second with Trevor Amon, most goals in USL League One, and he's an all-leaguer from top to bottom. He's finally got his first full year with the Mingos. They're excited to have him go through an entire preseason, really get the rotation and the reps that a player like him is certainly going to make a difference tonight.
Peter Pearson, our player to watch for Duluth. He's been around the USL quite a bit, but he's with Duluth here tonight in this Open Cup.
And he was one of the veterans that I was referencing in that Open. When you're looking at the club profiles, he is a player that Duluth FC is going to have to rely on in these situations. The veteran leadership and the mentality that he brings to this group is going to be unparalleled.
Our starting lineups tonight for both Forward Madison FC and Duluth FC. Forward Madison, it's actually a pretty similar starting lineup as to what we saw on the weekend against FC Naples. Matt Glazer wasn't necessarily too pleased with his team's performance.
No, and he's taking this matchup seriously, not only for the Open Cup in the next round, but also for how they're going to continue to progress through the League One season. And for Duluth FC, going to be a key for them not to concede early.
We are ready to go. It is a beautiful sunny evening, but don't let that sway your mind into thinking it's warm and nice outside. It's 38 degrees. You can see the snow kind of pushed up against the boards there on the far side. But here we go from Breese Stevens Field. For the second straight season, it's Forward Madison and Duluth FC. Forward Madison already one game under their belt in this year's USL League One season. A 2-0 defeat against FC Naples over the weekend, the inaugural game for FC Naples. And it was a 2-0 defeat. Matt Glazer told us, he said it was not the way we wanted to start. He said we had a few good moments early, but we're still building cohesion, dealing with some injuries coming out of preseason. This is a great opportunity, their first home game of the season. They're already coming forward here down the left, getting end line, putting this across. Chance for Duluth to try to get this away. Madison will keep this alive with Jake Kroll. Kroll's cross deflected, out of play, and an early corner kick within a minute for Madison. An in-swinging ball trying to test Adam Bremen, who is the goalkeeper tonight. Bremen's up for it. He got a touch to it, no whistle. And play on. Duluth looking to counter. Madison able to sweep this back out to midfield where they will reset. Adam Bremen getting the start tonight in goal for Duluth. Actually played for the University of Wisconsin right here in Madison. He played one of those friendlies that Madison plays every year, an exhibition match against John Trask's Badgers. So he has played on this field before and getting the chance to do so again, but for Duluth.
That's the beauty of these opening matchups. So much pride oftentimes in the same community that we see in the opening rounds. And that is part of the makings of a cup set. The why behind these amateur sides, these semi-professional teams going up against the USL League Ones, the USL Championship teams that are in the Open Cup. And this is definitely a matchup that could be part of the cup set conversation.
Now Duluth trying to get something started here. A whistle from our referee, Peter Bernardi. Madison gets it rolling quickly, but Duluth founded back in 2015. Originally competed in the Duluth Amateur Soccer League, then the American Premier League. Then they joined the NPSL in 2017. They won the NPSL North Conference in 2017 along with the Midwest Region title. This is their 4th U.S. Open Cup appearance. They reached the NPSL National Semis last year. They actually lost to El Farolito, who got a win last night against Real Monarchs. And now this Duluth team back in the Open Cup for a 2nd year running, and trying to take down forward Madison, who they lost to by 2-0 last year. Pressure here in the middle. A whistle and a free kick will go back the other way. It's been all Madison in these opening 3.5 minutes. USL League One sides have mostly been successful so far in this round 1. Last night, though, was Spokane getting a late win against Ballard. The Richmond Kickers also being eliminated against Virginia Dream. Aside from that, it's been pretty successful first round for USL League One. That was the big cup set, Virginia Dream. With that 3-1 win against the Kickers, this ball put out of play. There's an injured player over on the far side. It appears that is Derek Gebhardt.
Derek Gebhardt's such an important piece to this forward Madison side, really crafty with 1v1s. You see him go down there looking like he was grabbing his knee, obviously in pain. But a player that the Mingos are quite excited about, the intensity that he brings, the professional mentality that he brings to this locker room, and obviously his skill and his craft on the ball. Not the player you want to see going down.
Derek Gebhardt now in his 5th season with forward Madison, formerly with Charlotte, Oklahoma City, Jacksonville Armada as well. Earned his 100th appearance for the club just last year. Do you like playing in cold weather?
Absolutely not. I don't like existing in cold weather. Do you?
I don't mind. I mean, I don't think I'd choose to play in cold weather, but
I feel like the thing that makes me the most upset is actually a day like today, where from a third-party perspective, I am like, wow, how sunny, how warm,
that's
how
why
beautiful.
I said don't
let
like,
this
be an illusion.
Snow.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I think that's actually more infuriating than it being cold and rainy and gloomy.
See, I would much rather play in sunny and what, 35 degrees or so it is right now than raining and like 42.
I feel like that says a lot about us. Both answers match our personality. Okay. I'm quite all or nothing, very balanced guy.
Yeah, there you go. Getting it all here. First round of Open Cup, stoppage and play. It was great to talk with head coach Thomas Pazzo for Duluth FC. Hired back on January 2nd. He's assistant coach at Lindsey Wilson College, but first question I asked him was about the excitement level, and he said, he had a great quote. He said, "It's the ultimate job interview for some of these players that want to go on and play for a pro club, and that's the opportunity afforded to all of these teams and players right now. A whistle here and a free kick going the way of Ford Madison. Comes Madison trying to get things going. Working through the lines. Trying to work through the lines again. Quick give and go. Challenge put in right on the edge of the area. Duluth trying to go back the other way. Advantage is being played as this is played over the top. Vandenbeld is onto it. And nothing doing. Madison did well to get back defensively. Floated back the other way. The header into the corner. And a corner kick is prevented. Good work there defensively by the captain tonight, Jake Starling. An NPSL National 11 player. Played his college soccer at Florida Southern. Now here with Duluth. Talk about the warm of Florida and now the cold of the upper Midwest here.
Absolutely. Opposite ends of the spectrum, but that last sequence from Duluth FC is exactly what this group is hoping to do. They want to be able to withstand pressure, key focus on not conceding early to this Ford Madison side. And then when they do have the moments, the breakthrough outlets, connecting the first pass to break lines of pressure, that's when they want to have the most focus on the attacking side of the ball. It's not surprising whatsoever that Ford Madison has controlled much of the tempo. That's all in the game plan for this Duluth FC side. And then for Ford Madison, we talked about it in the open, it's going to be more important for them to approach this game with a professional mentality, meaning this is an extension of their season. They were not pleased with their performance to open the USL League One 2025 season. And they want to get back on the right foot, and a good quality performance here tonight would do just that.
Conversation here, Faraday Sosa, and it's going to be a free kick on the way for Duluth now. Bremen sends it away into the sun, and it'll be interesting here because the sun is currently setting in the face of Ford Madison goalkeeper Wallace Lapsley. If Duluth can get some pressure on goal, that could play a big part in this game. The sun sets around 7 o'clock local time, or 7:10 local time to be exact. But you can see Lapsley there on the far side. He's shielding his eyes from the sun. Floated over the top again. Sosa collects, now progresses end line, deflected cross as it comes in, headed away towards the top of the area, and Madison able to start again.
Some good individual moments defending 1v1 from this Duluth FC side. And then for Ford Madison, positive reinforcements the other way, doing really well to step up in pockets of pressure, collect those 50-50 balls, those recycled balls and get things back in the mix. They're being quite patient on the ball right now.
Timmy Mel works it around. Madison trying to get things started again. They'll try the left side. Touched out of play. Mistouch there on the far side, it should be said. And a throw-in going back to Duluth. Last year in this fixture, it was a brace by Kristen Cheney, and it was an early goal in the 9th minute for Forward Madison, but right now it's Duluth coming forward, a chance to look in fields. Vandenbeld waiting in the box. Comes in, it was Dylan Sumner trying to make something happen. He was taken off the ball and nothing doing, but we talked to Thomas Pazzo, the head coach for Duluth. He said, biggest thing we can't do tonight is concede early. And I guess so far so good for Duluth. There haven't been too many grade A chances for Forward Madison. Also in that game last year, Duluth, there weren't a lot of chances to go around. It was just 7 shots for Madison, only 2 for Duluth, but Duluth did not put a shot on target. Second ball trying to be picked up in the middle. The big header put in there by Tristan Adams, holding down that back line in central defense as this runs out for a goal kick. Throw-in going Duluth's way. They've held strong here in the opening 14 minutes. It's been about 7 days of training for Duluth. Players joining when they can, really. In terms of when they showed up to Duluth to make the 329-mile trip here to Madison. That ball by McLaughlin off the mark, and it will be ushered out of play by Jake Starling. Throwing on the way now for Forward Madison. Seems like Duluth in the early going is just trying to get out in transition. Aside from that, it's been Madison on the ball. Work through the lines again, broken up. And now Timmy Mel. Mel sprays it down the line. Long run to get on the end of this. Sosa's there. Verdi Sosa gets around one. A kind deflection there for the outside back as the cross is lifted in. Back post header is over the bar. Big chance for Nico Brown. And the first chance of the game for Forward Madison.
A bit unfortunate for this Duluth FC side. You mentioned it, a very kind deflection here after a good stint of 1v1 defending. Had nice pressure, had nice balance to it, and it falls favorably to Forward Madison. And a last-minute intervention by Tristan Adams just sends that one from being a very dangerous opportunity. Nico Brown for Forward Madison FC is going to want that one back, no doubt about it. That's what it's about. Can you withstand moments of pressure? Can you gain territory at the right times? And for Duluth FC, can you have the moments of recognition when it's okay to build out and when it's time to go?
Bell steps forward again. Madison have been quick to win the ball back when they do lose the ball, as Kroll steps forward. You know, Matt Glazer will be looking for a response from his side. After he said against FC Naples, it was not the way we wanted to start. He was pretty blunt with it. And looking to play this over the top. It checks up nicely, but it won't matter. The flag is up for offside. Free kick back to Duluth. Shout out to all the Duluth FC fans watching at Chili Billy's. Some good drink and food deals on the menu. I'm sure it's a fun time for all to watch the Blue Greens tonight here in Madison for a second straight year. Vision there in the middle, but carry on. Duluth carrying forward. Chance to try to lift this towards goal. Nothing for Wallace Lapsley as he sees this out of play. Leading the charge there was Mario Fernandez.
It's really not a bad idea. You mentioned the sun that's in Lapsley's face in this first half. Mario Fernandez with so much time, so much space. You had to think if the run would have continued on the backside, perhaps could you have gotten a touch on that? But I see the thought process. Why not challenge the goalkeeper when he's struggling to see the ball's in flight? Put the ball in a dangerous area. Sometimes good things might just happen.
Especially for an underdog type team, sometimes it's going to take something spectacular. We saw some pretty good goals last night by Virginia Dream in their cup set of the Richmond Kickers. Duluth trying to do the same, coming on the road and taking down a League One side. Broken up again in the middle. Vandenbeld touches it forward, and now a chance to run forward. Weaving into the box, the square ball played. Sumner's there. The extra pass to the far side. Chance to cut this in on the left foot. Big deflection and cleared away. Rory Doyle started that whole break. This is played over the top. It's well over hit there by Alejandro Ruiz Garcia and out of play.
What an excellent sequence from Duluth FC. And it all started with their compact shape defensively, winning it in the midfield, and then getting on the horse and just letting it go. Patience, patience, waited for half a window, get a deflection off the chest, calls for a handball, but nothing there from Ford Madison FC. And unfortunately couldn't make the most of the recycled opportunity. But you're seeing glimpses of this Duluth FC side getting more and more confident on the ball, much of which is stemming from their defensive structure.
Now they're able to use a little bit of that pressure to win the ball high up the field. Juan Galindrez able to hold play up and move it out wide. Foul in the middle, and a yellow card is out. First yellow card of the game will go to Rory Doyle of Duluth FC.
And no surprise here. Yellow card absolutely deserved on that one, but that's the game plan, and where Duluth FC is finding a lot of success defensively, baiting this Ford Madison side into that central passing channel. They bait, play a bit of shadow pressure, and then Rory Dole specifically has been jumping on just about everyone he can.
Loaded out wide. Oh, good moves there by Nico Brown to turn the corner. Lifts the cross in, deflected out. Corner kick forward, Madison.
Really glad to see Nico Brown finding some success, a player who has had such a high ceiling everywhere he's gone, bounced around a little bit, and has found maybe a home here in Ford Madison where he can exploit all of his talent such as that.
This ball floated in towards the top of the 6-yard box. Played back into the middle by Dietrich. Bicycle kick attempt is over the bar. Galindrez, always a flair for the spectacular.
And look, US Open Cup is about magical moments.
The magic of the cup.
There you go. No risk, no reward.
Galindrez, one of the highest goal scorers in USL League One history, 3rd place behind his teammate, Garrett McLaughlin. These two will be going back and forth all year, but we were talking about this before the game. I don't think anybody's catching Emiliano Terzaghi, who's in the high 50s right now.
Feels that is a record set in stone.
Duluth on the ball again, trying to get something started. They've had a few good opportunities in this game already. Ball floated forward. There to meet it was Tristan Adams. Played ahead, and it appeared Stan Vandenbeld was in an offside position, but there was a foul behind the play and a free kick going to Duluth FC. Another foul in the middle, and this will give it right back to forward Madison. Madison right now just kind of lacking that punch in the final third. They have only played one other game this season. Duluth, this is their first game of the year.
That was something that they absolutely struggled with in the opening match of their League One season. Difficulty in the final third, generating any real type of opportunity. Obviously, that was paired with some fatal mistakes in the back. But a bit more generation is what their head coach is going to want to see.
For Galindrez, sliding challenge put in by Starling, and the clearance. Madison, though, able to keep it with Nico Brown. Gets it back. Cutback ball, deflected away. Chance to shoot, blocked. Galindrez was in the right place, right time, but a good defensive play put in. Gebhard to win it back in the middle for forward Madison. games in action right now in the Open Cup. All 4 games featuring League One teams. A foul here and a free kick will go to Duluth. Duluth is hanging in there. As Thomas Pazzo said, one of the biggest keys is to not concede early. He said, we want to bring the game to them. He knows how fluid this team is in their buildup, but been strong defensively once they've arrived in the attacking third. Good turn out of trouble there by Doyle. As they're able to break that initial line of confrontation, they've had success moving the ball forward, have Duluth. Ball played forward, Vanden Belt couldn't get onto it. And the clearance away. Another foul here in the middle, and a free kick going to Duluth. Play down the line quickly. Duluth trying to get something started here. Time on the ball for the roadside. Starling stepping forward. All he can do is play this over the top. Lapsley forced to retreat, but it doesn't matter because the flag is up for offside. Those 4 other teams in action in USL League One tonight in the Open Cup. Portland Hearts of Pine, their first ever match and their first ever goal was scored in the 17th minute by Walter Varela. Azad Liadi added another one as well in the 29th minute. Charlotte Independence on the road against the Long Island Rough Riders. It's a tough away day there for Mike Jeffrey's side, and it is South Georgia Tormenta who have just scored against Harbor City. The game is 1-0 as well. Three more games still to come up tonight. Carolina Core and Soda City. FC Cincinnati 2 and New York Pancyprian Freedoms, and then late night Tacoma Defiance and the Washington Athletic Club from Starfire. Trivia time. Do you know what famous Open Cup moment happened at Starfire?
You know that I don't. You're setting me up to fail. But go ahead and tell it. Let's all learn together. I'm sure everyone at Chili Billy's wants to hear as well.
It's the red, it's the red card wedding. Clint Dempsey ripping up the card of the referee.
No
it's a
way.
famous Open Cup moment.
I didn't know that was the same time. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Starfire has some, that's one of the most famous Open Cup moments ever.
Last night, I actually called to get rid of yellow cards. That was my hot take of the day.
And why?
Just, I feel, again, I'm one way or the other, right? Either you let it go, play on, foul, sure.
Or it's a red card?
Or just get out. Make it worth it, you know?
Is that what they taught you at Georgia?
More or less. At least that's what my track record says.
Okay. Another foul there in the middle. And is this going to be a yellow card? It appears it will be. Mario Fernandez has his name taken.
It's an excellent step from Dietrich. Nice little touch.
Is that
avoids
a play,
the tackle.
Is that a play on or get off?
See, again, for me, what's the point? Play, like, sure, I'm fine with the foul. That's not what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
like, you can keep the foul, right? But if we're going cards, if you have to take time to go to your pocket, walk over to me, call me back to you for a warning?
Maybe you feel this because you've gotten so many yellow cards in your career.
It's just pointless. You know what that does for you mentally? Nothing. Nothing. And let's be honest, it's a little bit more entertaining. A straight red, 2 yellows.
Do you want a penalty box? I know that's been kind of floated in the soccer sphere.
I don't see any way that we don't have a penalty box. Like, I don't understand why we don't have it. Timeout. You're in timeout.
Kroll puts this ball in, cleared away.
You're asking me all these questions.
I'd just be curious to know
what about
your thoughts
you?
are on that. I'm a no penalty.
You don't want to
guy.
have a penalty box?
No, I think we save that for hockey. Over the top again, Lapsley forced to play this and puts it back into the midfield. It's a big hockey town, big college hockey town, and I know obviously Duluth is as well.
Yeah. They would probably prefer to keep hockey and football separate.
Yeah,
I would
probably.
assume.
I would assume that.
Yeah.
Throw and going Duluth's way. They're hanging right in this game. Knew that they would be forced to do a bit of defending. Through 33 minutes, they've also had a few moments going forward that have tested forward Madison. Player went down away from the ball. He is in some pain here. This was well away from the play. And he was down, writhing in pain. It's Nico Brown, he's down. Look, top of your screen right here.
A bit of hand fighting. Oh, wow. So that's a hand to the face. And all jokes aside, not what you want to see coming back out of that replay.
And it appears a red card has just been shown to a Duluth FC player. This is when we were in replay. You can see the referee with the red card in his hand. And that goes to Alex Mihov. Number 21 for Duluth has been sent off. And now Duluth down to 10 men. This is not how they wanted this one to go by any means. Thomas Pazzo talked about not wanting to concede early. Okay, you can check that box. I think it probably goes without saying that you don't want to pick up a red card in this game. And that is a tough way for this one to go for Mihov.
Yeah, that was hand straight to the face of Nico Brown. For the referee, he's really got no choice there but to go straight to the book, straight to the back pocket. And it's so unfortunate for Duluth FC. A bit of a emotional moment after such a good showing in this first 35 minutes. And now all of a sudden the game plan has to change a bit. The positive light is that this Duluth FC side came into this match with a very disciplined defensive mindset. They already were planning to be in a very compact shape and key in on those transitional moments. That only is amplified now that you're down to 10 men.
Have to wait for Mihov to exit the field before they can restart. Just about ready to do so. So Duluth down to 10. We've seen a few red cards this week. But that's a tough one for Duluth to take after a, as you mentioned, a promising start. Flipped over the top. And the cutback ball. Some Contact right on the edge of the area, but nothing doing. Referee waves it away immediately. Now you feel like those opportunities for Duluth are going to be few and far between to get something going upfield. In a way, might make it even more difficult now for forward Madison trying to break through.
Absolutely. It's going to be quite congested in the central part of the field. And so much of this, it's so simplistic, but so much of this for Duluth FC now is going to come down to a disciplined mindset. And we talked about the recognition early on in the first half about how important that was when you're playing a compact shape and you have these moments from forward Madison that they're going in and out of high pressure situations. The recognition has to be there from the back line, moments to build out, moments to clear your lines and gain some territory. That becomes more paramount now than ever. That recognition of when this is a transitional moment that's worth it.
Another foul in the middle. This is going against Duluth. Free kick for forward Madison. Dietrich will put it right back in play. Down the line. And Derek Gebhard weaving through. Chance to cross this ball towards the penalty spot. Galindrez, McLaughlin, out of the long for Faraday Sosa. Yes, into the corner. Through all of that traffic, forward Madison is on the board, and it's 1-0.
And as this play was developing, you were seeing the rotation be just a few seconds late from Duluth FC. And Faraday Sosa finds himself all alone on the back stick and through traffic and some lovely runs and perhaps a questionable touch from his own teammate. Faraday Sosa finds the back of the net. I think you have to give credit to him, but Galindrez might have something to say about it.
Well, Galindrez is a striker, so he's going to claim anything he can get. Regardless, though, forward Madison on the board, and Matt Glazer will absolutely take that. That is the first goal of 2025 in a competitive match for forward Madison. Matt Glazer will be very pleased. And that will go to Faraday Sosa.
As it should. That was a wonderfully taken touch out of the air. Beautiful prep touch, didn't try to do too much with the strike. Knew there was a lot of traffic in front of the goalkeeper, just did what he was supposed to and put it on frame.
Faraday Sosa has not scored a goal since 2021 when he was with Union Omaha. That was the title-winning Union Omaha side. It's his second year with forward Madison after a couple of years with Sacramento Republic as well. This ball will run to the end line and out of play. Faraday Sosa has been a pro in the United States since 2014 with the Atlanta Silverbacks.
Oh!
How about that for a throwback?
I was about to say.
Also time with the Wilmington Hammerheads and the Las Vegas Lights. A cornucopia of American soccer clubs for Faraday Sosa. We said this was going to get tough for Duluth FC, and now it's going to get even tougher. This is a Duluth FC side that is down to 10 and only have one shot, and it was really nowhere near Wallace Lapsley. Long over the top. This out of play. Faraday Sosa trying to keep that alive, but nothing doing. Laughlin nods it forward. Galindrez to the end line. Galindrez forces a save out of Adam Bramman, and a corner kick to Madison.
And what a nice bit of skill from McLaughlin here, just to head this one down into the run of Galindrez. And you have to think with that angle, the proper decision was to put it back across the face of goal to the delayed run of his midfielders. But gets a corner out of it nonetheless.
To the back post, nodded towards goal, and saved right on the line by Bramman. And the chances are starting to quantify a little bit more here for Forward Madison.
Yeah, and if you're Duluth FC, you're going to have a leader take charge here, right? The body language is starting to shift, going down to 10 men. The dedication to the defensive responsibilities individually is starting to take a hit for this away side. Really need a leader in these moments to step up and say, guys, I know it's going to be tough, but we came into this with a game plan. That game plan can still work. But we've all individually got to be bought in this moment.
Nico Brown spinning in circles and moving it back. Timmy Mel steps by one. Sosa in a tough spot, but Mel recovers well. And back for Wallace Lapsley. Brown showing off some skill. Madison just playing keep away at the moment from Duluth, who really haven't gotten a sustained sequence of possession since the red card just about 10 minutes ago.
And you alluded to it, breaking down a mid to low block is very difficult on the attacking side of things. Yes, I know Duluth FC is down a man, but it's not easy to build out in these situations if you're Forward Madison. It's all about little moments like this, creating numerical advantages in small parts of the field. You shift over the defensive shape, and then you find an outlet on the other side. Very well done.
Sosa flips it up, back stick, headed away. Carrera Garcia out wide for Sosa again. Carrera Garcia, formerly with Chattanooga, but over the last couple years with Central Valley Fuego. Challenge put in on the far side, no whistle as we enter 5 minutes of stoppage time. Mel sending it forward, lifted it in the middle. Gebhard couldn't get a shot away. Deflects out towards Kroll, who finds width with Nico Brown. Brown progressing end line. Brown back in the middle. Gebhard saved off the line. Jake Starling there for Duluth. It's lifted back in again. Adams with the header clear. What a moment there for Duluth to keep the score as is. What a moment there for Duluth. Mel, even with that goal line clearance, it went right back to Forward Madison as they stay on the ball. Good play there on the far side as this is fizzed in. Looking for McLaughlin. One back by Madison. Ferdy Sosa. Shot from distance is ripped wide. Nothing on there from Lori Bell, the center back who came forward. But sometimes you can say goal line clearance, almost as good as a goal.
And hey, sometimes in a pinch like this, all you need is one player making a big time play. No question about it. Not a goal. Thought maybe at first glance it got past. Josh, you were sure from the jump. I give you credit there. But hey, big individual moments sometimes is all you need to change the momentum for your side. Get your guys right back in it. It's excellently done.
Midway through the minimum of 5 minutes. Madison still holding on to that lead. Duluth down to 10 men. Red card to Alex Mihov. Just a little bit behind. Ferdy Sosa runs through for Starling. Here's something for Duluth. Trying to start it. Didn't go quick enough to really catch Madison out, and they were able to get all those pink shirts back. This is played into the corner. Ferdy Sosa, his defensive responsibilities in clearing that away in front of Alejandro Ruiz Garcia. Trying to get end line here. Sosa. Bouncing this around, still bobbling around. Stays alive here for Duluth. Good defensive work put in on this near side. That was Juan Galindrez. Full buy-in defensively from this forward Madison side. This comes into the box, it's out of play, and a corner kick here for Duluth. First of the game. Their attacking opportunities have been few and far between. But a big opportunity here. Swinging ball, back post. Lapsley came for it, didn't get it. And the ball ends up out of play anyway. It's a goal kick, which should pretty much take us to the end of this half.
If that was timed a little bit better on the back stick, Lapsley was beat, comes out, and it's a poor decision to come out. Unfortunately, couldn't get the timing for Duluth FC to equalize. They've definitely got a mountain to climb. Make no mistake about it, Forward Madison looked extremely comfortable on the ball. They looked very confident in their rotation up front. For Duluth FC, it's going to be all about continuing in that compact shape and being sure in their moments of transition.
So Forward Madison get the lone goal from that man there, Ferdy Sosa, his first goal for the club. And it has Madison out in front at the break. Big high five there from head coach Matt Glazer. 1-0 is our score here from Madison, Wisconsin. First round of the 2025 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Stay tuned, second half is coming up shortly.
don't know. I had to check the tech sheet. I think if you, I would Google it. It's online somewhere. I work for a company called Vista. Actually, I work for a company that hires for hire. Vista hire. They do all like the Next Pro games and all these. Yeah, Next Pro. That's like the MLS's minor league. Yeah, I'm based out of Chicago. But yeah, I travel a little bit for the open stuff. You're on your radar. I would just Google Open Cup, and they probably have links to broadcast. This is the first round of Open Cup, yeah. Not the first one. Ever? Like 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago I started shooting Open Cup. Yeah, I mean, I'm always just praying for no overtime. No. So it's like, it's like if it's regulation, I can still maybe catch a restaurant after the game, but if it's overtime, then McDonald's or something. It kind of depends on the situation. Like, there's a network of shooters that we have all over the country. There's an Ethernet. That black cable is an Ethernet cable. But this thing also, I mean, it can send a signal.
Back here at Breese-Stevens Field in Madison, Wisconsin, Ford Madison 1, Duluth FC 0. Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup action, round 1. And we've had an interesting first 45 minutes. Duluth reduced to 10 men. But let's look back at all the highlights from the first 45 minutes of action. Ford Madison, Duluth FC facing each other for the second time in 2 years. And this was an early moment away from the ball. Kind of a slap in the face, if you will. A red card shown to Alex Mihov. Sent off, and Duluth reduced to 10. And shortly after, Madison would find their goal.
And there was not a whole lot that Duluth FC could do about the red card. An emotional moment that ultimately led them to having to be more compact in their shape, more disciplined, and ultimately the rotation just didn't happen fast enough. But you got to give credit to that strike, that prep touch, absolutely beautiful from Faraday Sousa. And it was going to be more Ford Madison before the half was over. Some real moments of worry for this Duluth FC side, but they do well with that big time goal line clearance to keep the game at just a 1-goal deficit despite being a man down.
The first half stats, there just wasn't a lot in that half for Duluth. 2 shots, neither of them on target, never really able to get going, and 2/3 of the possession has been in Madison's favor.
And we knew that that was a possibility coming into this match. Duluth FC had a game plan that they were going to sit back in a more compact shape, withstand some pressure, and look for key moments in the transition to be effective. Unfortunate for them, that same strategy is going to have to be paramount, because playing down with 10 men, Josh, you know as well as I, the compact shape is where you can find some success, and the recognition of moments in transition become that much more important.
We are just about set to go for the second half with Marion Crowder. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, we had a little bit prolonged halftime because the sun did set here in Madison just 2 minutes ago officially, which means for those observing Ramadan, able to get some fluids, some nutrition, some food in their system here for this second half. So that is the reason for the few extra minutes here at the break, rather than start the half, then stop it for a few minutes. Yep. So good job all around by the game ops crew and the officiating crew to make sure that all went smoothly. Duluth in the black tops and the green shorts, Madison in all pink, and we are underway. 45 more minutes and maybe more here from Madison, Wisconsin. Marion Crowder, I'm Josh Eastern. 45 more minutes on the way. Forward Madison getting that goal through Faraday Sosa, his first goal with the club. Duluth FC reduced to 10 men, and it has been a bit of a struggle in the first half. They did lose on this field by 2-0 last year, and right now they're heading down a very similar path. It appears Tyler Limmer has come onto the field, number 9 in black for Duluth. And coming off the field, Stan Vendenbeld. Change up top. Here's Derek Gebhard. For Galindrez. Juan Galindrez blocked down in front and out for a corner kick. Here's the in-swinging ball, right on top of the 6-yard box, headed away by Tristan Adams. Put back into the mixer. Out to midfield. Sosa directing traffic, and back for Wallace Lapsley.
A bit ambitious there from Faraday Sosa. You had to think, he said, wow, scoring a goal feels really nice. I think I'm going to try.
Heat check. A strong lineup put out tonight by head coach Matt Glazer for forward Madison. They don't play over the weekend as they come forward again here. It's cut back for Gebhard, and he sends that shot into orbit. Well out of play.
Gebhard just couldn't make the most of this one, but ultimately it's more positive from forward Madison because the chance creation has been there. And it's been there in a multitude of ways, whether that's being patient in and around the area or in quicker moments, a bit more route one such as that. And that was something that Matt Glazer said he wanted to see more from his group, felt that they weren't good enough creating efficient chances in the final third in their League One opener. We're seeing some positive moments from this forward Madison side.
Played long down the line, and it runs out of play. Madison pretty much picking up where they left off in the first half. They were on the front foot, and they are staying there here in this second half. Duluth looking for a way out here and quickly turned over. Here's Nico Brown. Verdi Sosa cutting it in fields. Sosa looks over the top. Bit heavy off the chest there, but it's moved out wide for Nico Brown. Brown cuts it in. Brown went for the curler. Carrera Garcia still loose in front. Galindres was trying to set up for a bicycle kick. As he went down, there was no point to the penalty spot, and it's play on. You knew what Galindres wanted to do there.
Absolutely.
You saw it earlier already.
Going for the spectacular. But really, in that sequence of events, it was the basic utilization of the shape that made that play so dangerous. Width utilization for forward Madison has been really a point of progress for them in the opening half, and it continues in the second. Nico Brown doing well to stay touchline wide there, the rotation through the front four.
Gebhard cuts it back again. McLaughlin blocked. A lot of block shots already in this second half for Duluth. As they try to play out, Carrera Garcia commits the foul.
And for the audience who doesn't know what we're referencing, the almost bicycle, the chance that was.
Still got his training wheels on.
And went, absolutely. Look at him here, little flick up. He knows he's facing backwards. Oh, this is my moment, Mom. And indeed it is not.
And Alejandro Ruiz Garcia getting in the way, not allowing that to happen, but this is one back. And a heavy first touch taken by Adam Bremen. Almost some trouble playing out of the back there for Duluth. Back the other way, Nico Brown. Jake Kroll. Verdi Sosa trying to cut this in. Sosa all the way into the corner. Sosa again. And this time out of play and back to Duluth. For that switch of play. Now looking for the long ball over the top, but broken up. Looking for the run there of Tyler Limmer, the halftime substitute. Gebhard and a whistle, a free kick back to Madison. Madison in last year's Open Cup. Mentioned going through Duluth by 2 goals to nil. The next game they played was against Chicago Fire 2 down in Bridgeview, Illinois, just outside Chicago. That was a 2-0 loss for Forward Madison. A quick exit in that competition. They're 4-4 all time, 3-1 against amateur sides all time as Forward Madison. Club started back in 2019. I don't know the exact word to describe Forward Madison, but fun definitely comes to mind.
Arguably the best kits and the best kit drops in all of
agreed.
USL League One.
That is, I think.
Is that a known fact now?
Yeah, I think
we're
so.
past opinion.
I mean, I will say, Portland Hearts of Pine have come in.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have done great with their kits, but it's a different sort of vibe with these Madison kits.
I mean, when your mascot is a flamingo.
Yep. Plastic flamingo.
I mean, I don't know what's much more fun than that.
Yeah. And they have a cow.
Exactly. Just because.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like we need to add some animals.
In League One or
No,
in the Open
no,
Cup?
just
or
for Forward Madison in general. I feel like they should just start expanding. Each year, add one to the farm.
The cow makes sense.
It doesn't have to make sense with them. That's the beauty of this
Very
club.
good point.
It doesn't have to make sense. People are like, oh, why this, why that? Well, they're the Mingos. Oh, that makes sense.
I think that would fly.
See what you did there?
I don't think
They don't.
They do stand on one leg, though. Feels like that's almost what Duluth is having to do right now, down to 10 as this is headed back, and Bremen is there. The longer this stays at 1-0, the more confidence Duluth will have to take, even though they really haven't had anything going forward.
And there will come a moment when you're just going to have to go for it. And when it's only a 1-goal deficit, it starts to make a bit more sense for you mentally. You can make sense of those final 10, 15 minutes just pushing, chasing the game. And so ultimately for them, for Duluth FC, they are still in this risk-reward state. It's much too early in the second half to come out of that defensive structure and chase the game. That's going to be something that, a decision that's made in the last 10 to 15 minutes. So it's been a very impressive start to the second half for this Duluth FC side. And if you're Forward Madison, it's all about finding the next one. Put the nail in the coffin.
Here's Kroll, rolling it into space. Nico Brown to the end line, the cutback ball, and this is over the bar. Trying to connect with Garrett McLaughlin. It was deflected out of play, and a corner kick now for Forward Madison.
Nico Brown has been excellent throughout this match, keeping the width, keeping the shape, and creating that numerical advantage down this left-hand side. Ultimately, the run of McLaughlin was already past the near post by the time the delivery was there.
In swinging ball. There's the bicycle kick attempt. It was nearly third time is the charm for Juan Galindrez. Right now, the bike is still hooked to the pole.
I've got to know if there is an inside bet with the locker room.
I mean, he's tried it three times.
3 times. And like very evidently putting his body in a position to be able to achieve such. There has to be a backstory to this that we'll have to get Matt Glazer's opinion on.
Here he is again. Oh, McLaughlin into the spin cycle. Gebhard, oh, look at Galindrez and all that space, couldn't get it to him. Garcia. Loose in the middle, and it falls for Kroll. Now Brown steps around Pearson. Still Brown, and lays it off for Gebhard, who has space. Laid off again. Shot coming on. It's right at Adam Bremen. Wisconsin Badger holds on to it. Good day for the Badgers. Basketball getting a win earlier today, and now City Madison able to focus in on the U.S. Open Cup.
There you go.
Full day.
You're happy. Are you just happy Georgia lost? Because I'm sitting next to you?
Say that.
I see the smirk on your face right now.
No. It's all the madness. Whether it's the basketball or the U.S. Open Cup, we've got plenty of it to go around this week. Some fun games that have gone into the wee hours as well. I don't know if you stayed up for Ballard and Spokane last
you had
night.
A fun one.
It was a
You were
blast.
quite literally one of 2 games still going on in the entire world.
According to
quite
FOTMOB,
literally.
according to FOTMOB, it was just us and a Japan League Cup game.
Should have given each other shout outs. That's big time. The only broadcast.
Doing big here at the U.S. Open Cup.
So that was a minute 126, yeah? Was that the...
It was 1:20 and then 6 minutes of stoppage time, yes. Has some work to do if we're going to get to that point here in this one. They do have the ball here just shy of the hour mark. Only had about 30% or so of the ball in this game. This is floated forward again. It was already difficult for Duluth to get things moving forward, and obviously it becomes more difficult when you're down a man. Space to turn in the middle for Carrera Garcia. And he serves it out wide. Faraday Sosa. Here's Kroll, who just took his eye off it to chase it down. Former teammates with Faraday Sosa at Omaha. Now back here in Madison. To the end line and too far for Nico Brown. It's out of play. Subs on the way momentarily for forward Madison. Trying for just some fresh legs out there, and now those subs will come. Devin Boyce, Aiden Macias, and Eddie Manjoma entering. The goal scorer tonight, Faraday Sosa, along with Garrett McLaughlin and Jackson Dietrich, will all exit. Manjoma in his first season with Madison, coming over from the Tampa Bay Rowdies, time with Phoenix Rising, also time with North Texas. Aiden Macias, his 3rd season with Madison. Devin Boyce entering his 2nd season with the club after time with Greenville, Memphis, and Omaha in his past.
Really an excellent shift from Faraday Sosa. Obviously gets credit for the goal, and it was a professional goal at that, very well taken, but his work rate on both sides of the ball tonight was tremendous. Matt Glazer's going to be really happy with the shift that he put in.
Over the top again, looking for Nico Brown. Going to get the best of Peter Pearson. Brown goes right around him. Brown does just keep it in the box, but it's cleared away again by Tristan Adams. And a yellow card is coming out here. And that will go to Laurie Bell, the Englishman, his first season with forward Madison.
A 50-50 ball that Laurie Bell just absolutely armed to the back. No intention of playing the ball there. And the pesky yellows get us once again.
Your pesky yellows. Oh, a miss at the back here. Something on for Duluth. Big save. Second chance is in. Mario Fernandez scores for 10-man Duluth. 1-1.
Time to get your popcorn out, folks. We have got a showdown here at Breese-Stevens Stadium. And this is what I was talking about, the recognition of the moments to go. A well-timed ball over the top, a perfectly timed run, a mistake by the goalkeeper, and all players on the same page. The feeling that this is the one. And Mario Fernandez, who has been one of the bright spots for Duluth FC throughout the entirety of this match, gets a well-earned goal. And now it's about withstanding the pressure, getting this game to the final moments. What a moment for Duluth FC.
Long switch of play. Madison trying to respond right away and taken by Adam Bremen. There was some contact there. The referee, I think, is going to have a word here before play is restarted.
Like that initial response from Forward Madison. Make no mistake about it, we are trying to do everything we can to take the sting out of the game. And a hard collision for Brahman.
Teddy Manjomu just came onto the field. Just a quick chat with the referee and ready to play on now with 25 minutes to go here in regulation. Everything has gone Madison's way in this game until that one moment. The only shot on target tonight. The first shot on target for Duluth in now the 2.5 games, 1.5 games between the two teams over the last couple years.
And from an emotional perspective, now if you're Duluth FC is the moment where you have to rein it back in, right? You're riding high the emotion and the thought that, yes, we can do this. And while that's wonderful, what got you to this point, what got you to that moment of recognition was your discipline in the defensive shape, your discipline in your build out, not taking any chances. And that's exactly what they're gonna have to go back to if they want to see yet another moment to perhaps take the lead in this one. And then for Forward Madison, just a bit too lax in the build-up. They've been used to and comfortable with having the majority of the possession, having time and space on the ball, and now we're seeing them make a few silly mistakes that are opening the door to opportunity for this Duluth FC side.
There's Macias trying to win into the middle. Sumner couldn't get there. Madison win it back. Played down the line, long run for it. Boyce into the corner. Challenge put in by Ruiz Garcia, and a throw in for Forward Madison deep in the attacking third. Bell sends it airborne. Lindres was waiting under it. Now Sumner. If you're Duluth, you gotta feel like you have a bit of confidence now to try to go on and find another goal. Floated into the middle. Herrera Garcia able to keep it for Madison. Boyce. the middle. Broken up. Galindrez able to get on it. These spaces very tight here for forward Madison as they look to build through the lines. Loaded forward. Second ball cleared away. Here's Gebhard. He goes down. He was fouled. They go quickly with Nico Brown, who gets end line. Brown puts it in front and swept away. Lifted in again. Heads go up. Pearson with the clearing header. Feels like when it comes down this left side with Nico Brown, they're having a lot of success. They'll go that way again. Brown, two men coming over, but gets it back over the top. Brown settles. Kroll there in support. Jake Kroll lifts it in, back post. Gebhard out of play. So 20 minutes to go. This game is changed in a big way. Mistake at the back for forward Madison has allowed Duluth back into this game at 1-1. Give a lot of credit to Thomas Pazzo's side. They've hung in there. The red card in the 35th minute, a straight red card. They've played half of this game now down a man. Macias working it out wide for Manjoma. Bell and now Kroll. Trying to move this out wide again. Manjoma flips it up back post. Gebhard's up for it. Still loose. Gebhard. And saved by Bramman.
Gebhard starting to inch towards the unforgiving moments. Equalizing at 1-1. He has had some sitters that he's going to want back. And then he's got to have a bit more focus, a bit more of a killer instinct when he's in front of goal and the game is on the line.
Gebhard's was the one that was saved off the line by Jake Starling back in the first half. Could have been 2-0. Could have been a whole different game. Move this down the line. Manjoma cuts it back. Macias for Boyce. Looking in field, and it's in the corner. Eddie Manjoma scores for forward Madison, and order restored in the capital city.
So much of this goal comes from forward Madison's commitment to numerical advantages in the wide areas. Watch how many players start to get involved in this play right in the half space. 3-on-3, and what that does is it creates pockets of space centrally. When you pull defensive shapes out towards the wide areas and you have recognition from players like Eddie Manjoma to vacate that space, then it all becomes about the finish, and he makes no mistake about it.
Eddie Manjoma, just his second game with Forward Madison. Another player who has not scored a goal since 2023, but that is now 2 goals for Forward Madison, both scored by their right wing back, Ferdy Sosa, who came off the field, his substitute, Eddie Manjoma. Something's in the water on the right backs tonight.
Nico Brown's probably feeling a little hard done because he has been spectacular as
but
well.
But it's been the wing backs tonight that have had a lot of success.
It has been, and I think that that's going to be something that propels Forward Madison in their league play as well as in this Open Cup. That was quite literally the whole entire reason for the goal creation, their willingness to utilize numbers in those wide areas, in the half spaces. And it forces a consolidated shape like Duluth FC to come out and put pressure on the ball, deal with the numbers that are in those channels, and then you have to rely on the intelligence of your strikers like Eddie Manjoma to recognize the central spaces that are now vacant. And Matt Glazer, a head coach who felt like they didn't create enough chances in the final third to open the League One season, he's going to be really pleased with some of the creativity and the rotation that he's seen from his group tonight.
Madison back in control, and that means subs on the way for Duluth FC. Aiden King and Alexis Santamaria are set to come on. Madison is trying to play keep away now. We talked earlier about Duluth not having to extend themselves too early, but now with 14 minutes to go, they are running out of time. It's a ball into space. A great ball there to run after for Tyler Limmer. Throw and one here for Duluth FC, and a chance just to move some bodies forward. And the 2 subs now on the way. Alexis Santamaria and Aiden King. Andres Solares is one of those players coming off the field. Santamaria on. And the other one is Dylan Sumner. This will be fresh legs up top for number 15 in black now off the field. Madison able to get back on the ball. Madison trying to now extend this lead out and provide some cushion in these last few minutes. It's Boyce. Deflected as it came in, appeals for handball. Nothing there from the referee, it's a throw-in. Here's Kroll. And now Nico Brown. Brown, couple step overs. Brown lays it off, and the overlap is there from Kroll. He's forced to play it back again for Aiden Macias. Madison trying to keep the ball, take the sting out of this game. Find the right moment. Here's Carrera Garcia lifting it in. Felt like that could have been the moment for Juan Galindrez. Stood up very nicely to try and get on a bike. Here's Kroll. And now Nico Brown. Still getting by Pearson, but a slight touch on it. Brings it back for Duluth. Width again for forward Madison. Manjoma with 10 minutes to go. Madison in command, retaking that 1-goal advantage. Macias cut down. Foul against Alexis Santamaria. Ball floated out wide, looking for Nico Brown. Comes Madison again. Galindrez holding play up. A self-pass, and now this is deflected out of play. Subs on the way now for both teams ahead of this corner kick. Alejandro Ruiz Garcia and Peter Pearson coming off the field for Madison. Jose Carrera Garcia is coming off the field. Entering for forward Madison is John Murphy Jr. While Taj Hilton and Juan Sola Gustran will come onto the field for Duluth. Last subs of the game for Duluth here. Still one more sub available to Matt Glazer and forward Madison. Now the in-swinger on the corner kick toward that near post. Locked down, Nico Brown couldn't get there, and maybe something on for Duluth. It's deflected out. At least take the throw in here. Well, congrats to Portland Hearts of Pine. They have gotten their first win in club history in their first game. As Nico Brown puts this into the middle, deflects it out, chance to shoot, and it's fired out of play. Get that one to Waukesha, way out of play.
Draw me a map to Waukesha. Can you? There's no shot.
Not 90 minutes away. Yeah, over towards Milwaukee. Just north of Milwaukee.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you if you were right or wrong. So I'm just gonna have to trust
Made that all up.
I know you did.
No,
I felt it.
About 5 minutes. There's Portland Hearts of Pine, that 4-0 win tonight. Great atmosphere there in Maine. Their first ever match. They'll play their first league match in just a couple of weeks. Hearing that Portland Stadium tonight holds about 2,000, and yet there were 3,500 people there tonight. Incredible atmosphere. The Magic of the Cup.
Brings people from all walks of life together. And we talked about it at the beginning of this match. There's often, especially in these opening rounds, so much on the line for the communities. A lot of pride that goes into these matchups.
There's Boyce over the top, Galindrez. Great first touch, Galindrez! Showing off all the moves tonight in Madison. And forward Madison dancing into the second round.
Finally attempts a normal shot and actually shows all the skills that he's capable of. And he times his run perfectly, gets lost on the backside shoulder of the center back. A beautiful prep touch to bring that down. Times it well, strikes it cleanly, gets all of his laces through it. And a goal worthy of all the celebration.
Juan Galindrez in his second season with forward Madison, 7 goals in 36 appearances in all competitions last year. And off to a great start here with now a goal in game number 2 in all comps for forward Madison in 2025. And that is the insurance goal that Madison surely was looking for tonight. A yellow card is out. And that yellow card goes to Alexis Santamaria.
Just gets stuck, and Mario Fernandez does really well to evade the pressure. A bit of theatrics going along with it, try and waste some valuable time off the clock.
Free kick here for Madison. They'll have about 10 days off before their next game. Madison will be on the road to Richmond, and then they'll have the second round game right after that before they'll have another weekend off before they go on the road to Charlotte, and then it's 3 straight home games in the month of April to take them into the first weekend of May, but might play a few extra games depending on what they're able to do in this competition. Last year they also did win their first game, as we mentioned, against Duluth, but maybe trying to go a little bit farther this time around. Down the line, the cross coming in, headed down. Trying to get this away. The challenge, though, in the area, it's saved, but there was a whistle. And it was a foul against Devin Boyce, who's still playing hard here in the 90th minute, up 2 goals. Into the 90th minute, stoppage time, 5 more minutes, Marion. Madison, though, in control, ready to move on to the next round. But Mac Laser, I'm sure, will be pleased about most of this performance. Yeah. I'm sure you'd like to see the goal cleaned up that they did concede.
For the majority of this match, he got the things that he was looking for. There were a couple things he was looking to clean up. We already talked about one of them being creating chances. They did very well tonight to generate chances from a multitude of areas. They went route 1 at times. They had some very crafty 1v1 skilled services into the box, a couple of dangerous set pieces. The ideas were there, the creativity were there on the attacking side. And then if you look at their opener and the League One season, they did have fatal mistakes in the back line that ultimately led to the loss. They cleaned the majority of those up, but the 1 goal was indeed off a mistake from the goalkeeper, something that's definitely going to be watched at in film this week.
Long ball over the top for the center back, Jake Starling. A swing and a miss, and that bounces out of play. The task was already going to be difficult for Duluth. Then you add in the red card in the 35th minute, and I have to say it was going to be impossible because they did find the equalizer, but that made it a very high degree of difficulty against a very strong forward Madison team tonight. And
I don't feel that this scoreline is actually indicative of the performance from Duluth FC in the first 20 to 25 minutes. We really saw them executing their game plan extremely well. Their shape was consolidated, it was disciplined, and they were quite effective in the midfield areas, winning challenges, going forward quickly. And unfortunately, going down to 10 men, already being the underdog, the strategy of having a disciplined and compact shape had to be first and foremost. And then from there, Josh, you know just as well as I do, fatigue at some point is going to start to set in. And that's what we're seeing here in these last 15, 20 minutes.
Backpedaling, it's going to be a 4th goal for forward Madison. John Murphy Jr. cements this one for Madison. 4 goals tonight at Breese Stevens Field.
And this is what fatigue looks like. All the time and space in the world to send a pinpoint delivery, a misstep from Tristan Adams on the back line, and a cheeky little finish to the side netting. But what's more important, check out that celebration. That's smooth, if I do say so myself.
You taking those moves or Juan Galindrez after his goal?
I think that I'm more capable of those.
I didn't ask what you were more capable of.
I'm picking the one I'm not failing at. Least likely to fail.
Okay. John Murphy gets his first goal of 2025. Scored 3 last year for forward Madison. Not known as a big goal scorer, but a former League One champion back in 2021 with Union Omaha, and now on the board here in the Open Cup. His second Open Cup goal. He scored one in 2023 with Tormenta. Flag up for offside. This one just about finished here in Madison. It was tight for a little bit. It was 1-0 for a while, 1-1 for a while. And then the 3 late goals here from forward Madison pushed this out to a big scoreline. Goals in the 73rd, 86th, and then 90 plus 3 officially for Madison in this second half. This is over the top again. Maybe one more. Around the keeper. Penalty. Another chance here for Madison to add on as Adam Bramman commits the foul in the box.
Bit of salt in the wound right now for Duluth FC. Goes to ground, and Galindrez does so well to take the touch away from him, and he'll have a chance to get a brace on the night.
Juan Galindrez stepping to the spot.
Put it in, baby!
Galindrez against Bramman, which might be the last kick of this game. Galindrez, it's saved, and then it's tapped in. All is good that ends well. 5 goals tonight for Madison, and off to the second round. And that is the full-time whistle. Forward Madison take down Duluth FC for a second straight season in the US Open Cup first round. And Madison is moving on.
A near complete performance from this Madison FC side. You clean up that one mistake in the back, and it's a 90 minutes that Matt Glazer is shining about. On the attacking side of the ball, they look much improved from their League One opener. The rotation of the front four, the utilization of the width, a well-deserved 5-1 victory for the home side.
Juan Galindrez, a brace on the night. Good performance here, and after being held off the score sheet over the weekend, forward Madison, 5 goals has got to feel pretty good here for the Mingos.
You got to admire the fight of Duluth FC as well. Again, their game plan coming into this was phenomenal. Going down to 10 men made an already steep mountain that much steeper. But you got to give credit to their resilience and their willingness to fight. But you know what I like to give credit to? Players that make big-time plays, and that's what we've got for you here. Highlights from the 5-1 victory of forward Madison FC. It starts with that red card off the play, well outside of the action. A hand to the face, a straight booking by the official, and from minute 35 and on, Duluth FC was gonna have a tall task. But what about the prep touch? Doesn't do too much with the finish, does Faraday Sosa. Just enough to send it into the side netting amidst all of the traffic. That is the first goal of 5 for the Mingos. But this mistake made us think that perhaps there was more magic to the match than was shown. It was a mistake by the goalkeeper, Lapsley, who was all but good on the night. But really, it was the sequence of events in the wide areas that led to most of Madison's success. And this is just another epitome, another iteration, and another player getting on the score sheet. Eddie Monjoma, a newfound sub with new fresh legs and a spectacular finish to the side netting. But hold on, we're not done. I told you they did it in a multitude of ways in this game. Route 1, how about that? After 3 attempts at a bicycle kick, Juan Galindrez sees the ball go in the back of the net and has some fancy footing to go along with it. And then as the match progressed and Duluth FC had to chase, fatigue showed its ugly head. And they ultimately just could not put any type of pressure in the midfield areas. Another Route 1 delivery and another pinpoint finish. And to put salt in the wound, 90 plus 4 out of 90 plus 5. A yellow card awarded to the goalkeeper, and he points to the spot. And not one, but two for Juan Galindrez, a veteran of USL League One, a veteran for this Mingos side, and a happy Matt Glazer, surely, as they head into another League One match in the second round of the Open Cup.
The full match stats, 22 shots for Madison. They were all over Duluth tonight, who just didn't quite pose enough of a threat against Forward Madison.
And the stats say it all. 22 shots, 5 goals. Possession percentage, we knew that was going to be in favor of Forward Madison FC. What we didn't know was going to be the efficiency in the final third, and what a surprise it was.
Well, that will do it for our coverage tonight from Bree Stevens Field in Madison, Wisconsin. Forward Madison is moving on to the second round of the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Marion Crowder, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. Madison wins it 5-1.